Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SYARMILA binti MOHAMAD SOBORI. My matric number is 201934359S. Internship can provide students with the personal growth experience and exposure to different job opportunities. In here today, I will present to you my personal practical experience in Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Kelantan. 7 things that I include for this presentation. First is student profile. The second is the company profile. The third, training reflections. Fourth, SWOT analysis. Fifth, discussion and the recommendation. Sixth, conclusion. And lastly, appendix.
Okay, this is my student profile for my resume.
For the company profile. So, before I begin for the company profile, I will explain you for the 4 links to the KPN. The first is KPN, Kementerian Pendidikan, as the synonym of the Ministry of the Education. So it is regulate the primary and the secondary schooling, a preschool and the post-secondary training in the technical vocational fields, TVET. So next is JPN. JPN is about the monitor program, implementation, educational projects and the activities. PPD is linking the schools and the JPN is for the monitor activities at the schools. And the school is for the principal and the heads of the school is providing professional leadership.
So this is a logo for the Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Kelantan.
Okay, let's start about history. JPNK. Malaysia Education Ministry was founded in the 1955, marking 60 years of the administration and the headquarters of the Putrajaya. Okay, next is there are city-state education departments such as the Kelantan. JPNK is located at the Bandar Baru Tunduk that has said before this, at which building on the June 15, 2015. In 1922, Mr. Muhammad Ghazali bin Muhammad Arifin is a BINTI director, and now is Encik Zulkarnain bin Fauzi in 2020 until now. Is about vision, mission, objective. So currently, vision to sustain a system of the education that helps students reach for their full potential. And next mission is to produce educated citizens who will contribute to progress of their country. And lastly, objective is to dynamic, progressive, proactive leadership holistic produce and for development and also improving academic performance at the matter of the public.
So there are 7 our service and the product. The first, distribution of operating expenditure allocation warrants. There are 2 types of the warrants, warrant utama and the second is sub-warrant. For the second is application for the physical or the computer or the mobile phone loan financial. So basically for the computer and the mobile phone loans, for the maximum loan is 5,000. Okay, the third is distribution of all types assistance. For example, PCG, Bantuan Geran Per Kapita, and BMA, Bantuan Makanan Asrama. The fourth is bill payment, is about for the electricity consumption, JPNK, light, telecom. So officer in charge will audit the bill of each month. Next is salary and allowance. Here there are 5 estimates wage category. First, JPNK department, second, my step, the third, JG, fourth, foundation, and the fifth is teacher pool. So
they are divided
about
into
the application for approval
units.
to go
The
abroad.
first is
So
about
basically,
the unit,
allocation
account
of
unit,
a year,
and the
which
second
is
is financial
Sabah,
unit,
Sarawak, whose
and
village is
lastly
on the
administration
peninsula. The
unit.
last
For the
is
account
package
unit is
approval
generally
application
are
is like the
responsible
meal
for
supply
the
in
financial
the department.
departments like education management and management of the expense report and so on. For the administrations unit is the foreplay of the managing of the office administration matters. As you can see here, this is the picture for the financial unit organization charts. The head department is Madam V. Lipin, who are responsible for the managing for the sector managements. They are divided into 3. The first is financial unit, the second is account unit, and the third is administration unit. So in the chart here, for the my supervisor is senior assistant director Puan Farahida binti Yusuf. And the third position is about the assistant director, the fourth is assistant administrative officers, the fourth assistant accountant, the fifth chief administrative assistant, and the sixth is administrative assistant. So there are 6 positions for the financial unit organization, and they are active workers in this unit, and the one for the my staff. Next sections, let's go to the training reflections. For the durations, I begin for the 20th of March 2020 until the 4th September 2020. So there are 24 weeks. And the next is about the operation hour. For the working day, it begins for the Sunday until Thursday. There are 5 days for the work and the leave Friday and the Saturday. For the working hour, we can in for the 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we can out for the 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. So Thursday, the GPN have a half day, 3 p.m. to the 4:30 p.m. And lastly, specific department that I have said before this, I was in the financial unit. Summarize for the experience and the skill in the check-in. Okay, so the first is daily office administration that I have a face every day. Okay, it's about handling customer service in terms of decoration, handling documents. So the service customer is a term of decoration that asks from the customer how to fill the forms and about the product and the service. So I will provide them the phone employees to answer their questions. Okay, next is about the record. Okay, records getting data in the system. So I have been getting data in the local order. Is in the Excel. It's about the meals for the meetings. And the next is about the getting data in the for the allowance or the wage for the departments for the teacher is in the Excel. So the lastly record in the PCG bantuan per capita is in the system of the government. So it must carefully to record in these PCGs because we want to provide the school the money. Okay, next is handling documents. So basically handling document is about check unsigned documents for the HCM for the for the salary. Next is official stamp for the approval. So I have official stamp for the approval that have receiving documents, and the punch card I will be stamped in each last month.
Next, SWOT analysis.
Customer service skills. Okay, customer service skill is about the support of attentions, and the current consumers is can be professional address in the persons and the phone, email, chat. So the customer service skills it can be as the being listener and must to handle with the patient with the customer when they ask to the questions. So my recommended for the customer service skills is we can support clients typically confused and irritated. So the staff must to patient work as alone, where in the assistant them it is important to patient with service to customer to reduce their frustration and prevent for the future understanding. Okay, next is CPSS, creative problem solving skills is a likely help each other by emotional with sharing story and the finding solution. So they can be used for the using this paradigm known as the open furnace that provided in 1967. The following 5 rasa have been accomplished. The first is the fact definition, the second is a problem definition, the third solution finding, the fourth idea finding, and the fifth is the finding acceptance. So this using of this they can resolve the problems and find the solution. Okay, next is the strong cooperation among teamwork. they must the ability to understand and respond effectively. So in here, JPNK is a very strong cooperation among peoples. When have problems, one of them will be support them emotionally. Recommended for this company is when they have a conflict at the teamwork, they must to go together and working cooperatively, and it's not for avoiding for the conflict. Okay, the first for the weakness is about the problem internet servings. So it's a very most typically of this IT difficulties. Internet connective issue is arise in the Sunday for first day of the work. So it's a good idea to restart again for the computer to see if it can be helped. So for the Wi-Fi can also be used when the cable of this internet have the problems. Okay, the next is about the lack of employee. Employees today are looking a way of to deal with the stress, so which can lead the dissatisfaction and the poor work for the performance. When there is not enough to the staff, there is more work and less supervision. So for the recommendations, they can recruit for the employee because the more worker, the faster task can be done, or they can use for the my step. Okay, next is about training is not related to the with this course. Okay, the assignment for the given by the supervisor might not match for the scope of the work started by the faculty, leading to the task that does not meet for the understand more and may be helpful. So, but making the industry training report will be harder. So, the range of the size assigned to interns is very essential of their needs experience. I believe that by iterating the unit of the JPNK may provide the fresh experience. This exposes them to the variety of the team and they may be exposed. Okay, the first opportunity is a well-known brand. So discussion for the people this day want to the business with the companies they already know. The people will be more comfortable. So the Ministry of Education for the KPM wants to PPT officials to constantly visit schools to identify issue, the methods and immediate solution. So this can introduce them to the JPNK for the product. So next is a career endorsement my step. So okay, must use for this opportunity to hire for the my step. So they can be made the best use for the my step to reduce their loads for the task. Lastly, for the interdepartmental for the corporations. So the last for the improve by the keeping for the employee up to date work being across. And organizations, department can be work together on the project for the more easily. So the good internet communication is the key for the integrity and the success of the highlights. I mean, all the department have the better for the doing for the any projects. First is currency depreciation. So the further currency will damage the bottom pendidikan curriculum of finance JPNK. Depreciation currency may damage for the influence for the consumers dividends. So JPNK cannot to regulate the scenes for the currency value fluctuates with the economy. So for the recommendation, there are some situations that I can see in here in the my practical, such as a table electricity to reduce consumption for the cost. And I also saw when the meeting was held in the morning, the meeting was prepared for the breakfast and the lunch. So they can reduce for the cost of the foods by collaborating with the cheaper catering and replace for the heavy foods in the morning, such as the quick meal other than rice. Okay, next is the space of the technology. Okay, the advancement of the technology employee needs to use the system for the carrying data in the system. Okay, giving the employees come from the all age is very challenges for the JPNK for the staff. So with the help for the practical student and the master, it can be helps them in using for the IT. Okay, lastly, vulnerable to the cracker. Information security and privacy are becoming more important to information system management because they could affect aspect of the business. Or especially for the JPNK, they have a cracker when one of them use of the information of the data. So basically, the correct way to prevent for this cracker, like a change for the price for the 10 years or the less of the 10 years to reduce for the cracker.
In my conclusion, this training is very good program to enhance the skill of the student, and this JPNK is very good because they provide a numerous advantage to their intern. This is my appendix. First is customer counter, the second is about the celebration for Hari Raya, and the last picture is about the Mr. Wan Kusarma retirement ceremony at the restaurant. That is for me. Thank you.